I was a Dallas police officer, 1990. Graduated from the Dallas Police Academy. And I had a plan. I already told you what my plan was. So, because I did not know the Lord, I found myself in a relationship with a young lady who was also a police officer. And we had a very volatile relationship. She had an obsessive-compulsive disorder. She was very jealous, untrustworthy, or untrusting of me. And even though I wasn't saved, I also wasn't a cheater. So it was unjustly kind of directed at me, her ideas or her thoughts about what I was doing. And we actually got married, and I left her like 2.5 months after we got married. I'd had enough, so I went to the house when she was at work, grabbed my stuff, left her a note, said, hey, I'll pay for the divorce. This was a bad idea. Neither one of us is happy. Let's just go ahead and go on with it, go our separate ways, right? You do your thing, I do my thing. I'll take care of it. You don't have to pay for a dime. I'll take care of the whole thing. But she had another idea, and so one night she said, hey, you took some of my stuff on accident, and you left some of your stuff here. If you can bring my stuff, I'll give you your stuff. We'll just swap out. So I said, okay, that's fine. I work in the deep night shift, so I'm going to go down there, and I'll pick my stuff up. So I get to the house. Because of the obsessive-compulsive disorder, she didn't like shoes on the carpet, so I kicked my shoes off by the front door. And the door was open just a little bit. Lights were all off. Opened the door, turned the light on, said hello, and she's there doing laundry. And I said, okay, here's your stuff. I just need to grab my stuff, and I'll get out of here. She said, oh, yeah, I didn't put it together yet. So she walks down the hallway to the master bedroom and says, you know, you can come down here. I'm not going to bite you. And I was standing there with my arms crossed in the hallway when she steps out pointing a gun. And as soon as I saw that she was pointing a gun, I heard the shot and felt the impact in my chest. And then I turned around to run out, and she shot me a second time in the back. So I had a bullet that went through this arm into my chest, was removed from my back in surgery, and a second bullet that hit me in the lower back and came out about an inch below where the first bullet had gone in. And as I was running out the front door, I stooped down to pick up my shoes for who knows why. But I think like the Spirit was with me, because when I stooped down to pick up the shoes, she fired a third shot and missed because I had stooped down to pick up my shoes. I ran out of the house trying to figure out where I was going to call 911 from, because this was way before cell phones. And I was trying to think of a place where I knew where there was a payphone I could make a 911 call for. And just so happened, there was a Dallas police officer that was on a traffic stop, had his red lights on. And so I was able to get out of my car, just run over and say, hey, I'm off duty, I've been shot, and I need an ambulance. So they called the ambulance, called for the helicopter to come and care flight me. And, you know, a lot of miracles happened in that. The bullet that went through my arm didn't cut an artery. It went right between the two major bones that are there, didn't fracture a bone. The bullets that went through my back and in my chest missed my heart by an inch. No vital organs were touched. It was just all tissue damage. I was out of the hospital 10 days later. I have a gigantic scar on my stomach to remind me of that day. But because we had such a conflict in our relationship, there was a time when she had damaged my car, and I made a police report. And I lied, and I said I didn't know who did it, but somebody had broken the window on my car. Well, in the investigation of the shooting, they found out that I had lied on a police report, and so they fired me from the police department, her as well. You know, she got fired and processed as well. But they fired me from the police department and charged me with a felony. So now the guy that wants to be nothing but a cop his whole life is now unhirable and disgraced and fired without any kind of direction at all, because I did not have the Lord. This all happened in 1992. 1995, and I had after all this happened, as you can imagine, I spiraled. I kind of lost my focus. I didn't have any purpose. I had lost my identity. I had no vision. I started drinking, eating, put on a lot of weight. And it was essentially killing myself. In 1995, my wife, who you just saw on the screen here, she and I had just started dating again for the third time. I actually dated my wife, Claudia, who you saw on the pictures up there. I started dating her before I married the other woman, so I was really, really, really not very smart. I was really, really dumb. And we broke up. She asked me, I know you're new to town. I was new to Dallas. Have you found a home church yet? And I said, nope, and I'm not looking for one. That was how much pride I had. I had a badge and a gun. What did I need with God? And but from the time that I got shot until 1995, I think that the Lord was working in me and was trying to bring some healing to me. And in 1995, July, I surrendered my heart to Jesus Christ. And everything changed. My whole life, the only passion, the only desire I had was to be a police officer. That was it. Could not imagine my life doing anything else. When I surrendered my heart to Jesus, everything changed. I remember my wife asked me, she was my girlfriend at the time, what do you feel like God is calling you to do? And I said, I don't know. But I kind of feel a call to maybe become a chaplain in the military. I don't know. I didn't really know how to express what a ministry call was. My wife had told the Lord she didn't want to marry a pastor. And so she felt like, I'm safe with this guy. And as soon as she was in love and head over heels for me, and then I started talking about a ministry call, and she was like, oh, God, you got me. You got me. And, today, now, 2025, I'm so thankful for that dark time in my life, for the pain that I went through, because that was what got me to where I'm at today.